Hello, my name is Dante Alaman, and I am from OctoberPanicAttack.com. And I want to talk to you about the attraction named Halloween Park. You might have heard of Halloween Park before. It's our longest drive out of all the attractions that we go to, and it is in York Haven, PA, I believe. And it is pretty much in the middle of nowhere. We have this thing that whenever we go to Halloween Park, there's this small section before you get there. Like when you're in the last 10 minutes, it's always the scariest part of the drive. When you're in the last 10 minutes and you really bring with you a scary soundtrack, because that last 10 minutes before you get to Halloween Park actually is so freaky. I mean, it's like right out of a movie, like of a really scary forest, wooded, no lights drive. Which leads me to the first piece of Halloween Park that I find to be pretty powerful, which is their entrance. They have a very, very spooky and creepy entrance to their attraction. To when you pull up your car and to when you walk to the actual ticket booth, it is all very, very dark. It almost seems like unsafe. I mean, you walk over this wooden bridge, you can't even see where you're going. You can't even see the people that are with you in the group. So it's one of the spookiest, creepiest, and every year, no matter what they change, it's always a spooky and creepy entrance that definitely gets you ready for the night and intimidates you a lot. Halloween Park, I guess their main attraction that they've had is called House of Doom. And this leads us to the point that this is hands down the most creative and unique haunted house we've ever been to. This is a fully automated haunted house where you must find clues for the door to open so that you can go into the next room. I don't want to say a lot of things except that it's almost like a Goonies adventure in a horror movie. And you are part of the movie. Your group has their survival skills together and you're trying to get out. And it's heavy, heavy on atmosphere and creepiness and spookiness. You go into these rooms and it feels like it's literally like a 200-year-old room and somebody might have died in there. You can tell that these guys are putting in tons and tons of work. It's fully automated. It's computer run. But there are live actors in there this year, which is a great, great improvement from last year. Not only do the live actors scare you, pretty good at times, they also provide some assistance sometimes if things aren't working or if you need to, further instruction. And you are being watched from a variety of television screens in another location while you're in the house. So no worries there for things to go correct. I will say that they take up to, I believe, it's 9 people in a group. I would say that it's better in a smaller group. So to the best of your ability, try and be in a smaller group. They kind of pushed us not to be separated into separate groups, but the guy in the front told us that we could, but the girl in there said that we had to kind of be in a large group of 9. It was a lot of fun being together because we're a group, but there was a definite disadvantage because you were kind of the people in the back were still coming into the room and you had to make sure that they got in before the door shut and all that stuff. So it's a smaller group, and the people in the front are definitely getting the majority of the scares. You're solving clues, and it's very witty, and it's very, very creative and unique. And I got to say, it's the most creative and unique haunted house I've ever been to, hands down. And there are some, I got to say this too. If you are claustrophobic, they rely heavily on that in this haunted attraction called the House of Doom. Other than the fact that you're being locked in each room and the door is shutting behind you, and you can't leave that room until you solve the clues for that room. That's claustrophobic in and of itself. But they send you through areas of pitch black, which is great, and the walls get very tight. And there's sections where you're not crawling, not completely crawling on your hands and knees, but you are bent over walking, for a considerable amount of time in pitch black. And there are a lot of steps. If you're handicapped, you cannot do this at all. You can't do Halloween Park at all. there are a lot of steps, and there's a lot of hallways and creepy closets and things that you're crawling into that you never thought you would ever crawl into. The House of Doom. Now, our group has been going for this is our third year, and we noticed there are changes at Halloween Park every year. And we noticed this year that the House of Doom seemed a little bit short for us, because last year it seemed really, really long, but it seemed short. And they did say that they shortened it. But it's it's that good. You do want it to last a long time, and so we really, really thought it was awesome. And they switch it up every year. So if you go, there's going to be some added things, and you're not going to remember everything anyway, I don't think. And then they had an attraction. They brought back an attraction that they had originally in 2008, but they didn't have it in 2009. And I was really bummed about it because it was my favorite attraction. And it's Terror Behind the Doors. And it's in 2008, it was the only pitch black maze I've ever been in before, where it was pitch black, and it was a maze. And this year, they couldn't have it in a real physical building. They did it in a tent. And we had a total blast in there. Our group had a lot of fun. But for those of us who were there 2 years ago, we thought that the original Terror Behind the Doors was truly mind-numbing and terrifying. Whereas this year, it was more fun. And the hallways weren't as long as 2 years ago. They were shorter, and they weren't pitch black. There were moments when the lights would kind of totally go off, and you got some pitch black, but it wasn't pitch black, and it was the hallways weren't as long, and so it wasn't as terrifying, but it was definitely a lot of fun. I was trying to get lost more and more, and it's actually very difficult finding your way out of there. So to the best of your ability, have a good time with it. Then you have some side attractions there. You have an electric chair. You can be buried alive, which has one of the coolest caves with a little waterfall in it. And you can also shoot actors called spooks. Shoot the spook, and you can shoot them outside with paintball guns. So you can pick one of those, one of the 3 side attractions, and do that. So lots to do. Last year we were kind of bummed out because they changed the food area and everything was inside this big building. But now the food is back outside, and it's not a huge menu for the food. If you're thinking about the food, it's not a huge menu, but it's everything you desire, and the prices are awesome. The prices for the food are great, which is a great thing, and the price for the whole attraction is great, because you have to understand this. You're going to be in the House of Doom for about an hour. And you're going to be doing the side attractions, and then you're going to be doing, Terror Behind the Doors. That could take you 30 minutes, So you're going to be there for a full night. And if there are lines, you're going to be there for a really full night. So, $28, I think it was, is a great price. And, that's something that you just can't beat. And actually, let me get you the ticket here. This is the ticket. All right. Admit 1 victim. Okay. General admission. I don't think they have VIP here. Okay. I don't think there's VIP. But Halloween Park, if we were going to summarize Halloween Park is as their title implies. Halloween Park is literally like you get the feel of an amusement park in a horror world. Okay? We had a total blast. We were having an amazing time. Our group had a really, really good time. And we did have some authentic scares in the House of Doom. And we kind of came away with, if you want to have an amazing time, you want to go to Halloween Park. If you're looking for brutal scares and to really, start crying, and you want something that's really brutal, Halloween Park is not going to necessarily be that place. You're going to look at places like Field of Screams or Fright Factory and stuff like that. But if you're looking to have a total blast and go retro, go to the retro haunted houses and do something totally creative and unique. And we came away with this night and we said the best attraction, hands down, there is House of Doom. There are a lot of actors. There seem to be a lot of actors. You know, one of my pet peeves, and this is just one of my personal things, is that the actors at Halloween Park, just on the night we went, when they come out of the haunted house, they, they break character. Like, some of them were kind of like holding their masks while they were walking around and stuff. And for me, it's like one of my pet peeves because it's never truly as scary if this guy was just screaming at me and then he's outside ordering a hot dog or kind of walking around taking his mask off in between and stuff like that. So that was like that's just that's one of my things. With the actors of haunted houses, like I always kind of prefer when they're never out of character, and never hanging out in front of you or anything. But when they're inside, they're pretty darn good. So there's Halloween Park. Halloween Park, www.halloweenpark.com. They were so incredibly nice to us. They're great people there. They're very, very good people there. And you are in the middle of nowhere when you go to Halloween Park. And you want to find out when they have their homecoming night, when the community has like their homecoming night. That's when you want to go. That's when it's dead. We went October 15th. So there's Halloween Park, folks. It's a place we keep coming back to every year, and it's home of one of the most creative and unique haunted houses that we've ever been a part of, the House of Doom. And the people are extremely nice. They even gave us a backstage tour. Great people. And a good thing is you can always count on that each new year they're going to change something. And that's not something you can say about all of them. HalloweenPark.com, folks. Have a fun time there and get a little bit creeped out too.